You know, I got told the other day that I look like Jacob Lauko. I'm not gonna lie, I can kind of see the resemblance. For the first time as a 21-year-old, Bruins fans, it is not taking out! Because that was a 4-3 victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't take game notes. Why should I have? Why should I have taken game notes for this one? I was at a bar watching the game with a bunch of people going crazy with me. And I will say, for a first game as a 21-year-old, could not have asked for a better one. Could not have asked for a better game. Because this was hype. This was hype as hell. The only issue with it is that it was on TNT. TNT sucks. TNT sucks. I know NESN has had their problems recently, especially with freaking audio quality. Please, for the love of God, can the next few games be games where we don't get Robot Jack and Andy? But honestly, but even still, TNT's broadcast is just boring. But on the other hand, the game wasn't. The game was really, really fun. I think, and it is the potential. It is a potential freaking playoff matchup. We have these games. This is a game that is going to be that could potentially be a playoff matchup, especially if Pittsburgh ends up doing a lot of winning. I know the 2 and 3 seed in the Atlantic is already locked up. It's going to be Toronto versus Tampa, and at that point they're just playing for home field advantage. But in terms of like the actual, but in terms of who we're playing, that is still up in the air. We don't know if it's going to be the Islanders. We don't know if it's going to be the Penguins. We don't know if it's going to be the Panthers. We just know it's going to be one of those. Now, before we get into the game, like, comment, subscribe. Please, like, comment, subscribe. Helps out the channel. Puck drops, and the Bruins are getting all of the opportunities early on, and it definitely feels like we are crushing we are just smothering the Penguins where they are. Now, pretty early on, Chad Ruhwedel ends up going for tripping, not tripping. It was roughing on David Krejci. Bruins end up on the power play. Power play has been looking really, really not good. We're like 4 for our last 28 or something like that. But this power play ends a little bit different for us. Off of one of the absolute nastiest assist I've seen from Pavel Zacha this season. In the waning seconds of it, McAvoy circling back. He passes across. He passes laterally to Krejci. Krejci passes up to Zacha. Zacha sort of mishandles it, but the puck is still in open space with like 2 seconds left on the power play. So Zacha dives forward and bats the puck to the left for McAvoy, and McAvoy just has wide open space against Tristan Jarry, and that puts the Bruins up 1-0. It was fantastic, and everybody was going crazy over it. In fact, this game would end up being the first game, not just of the new year, that we have scored 2 power plays goals in the same game, but the first game since freaking December 19th against the Panthers that we have scored 2 power play goals in the same game, which honestly is freaking pathetic. But I would rather that we scored 2 power play goals and complain why we don't do it more than never score 2 power play goals in the same game. Also, after looking at the highlights again, it turns out that it was Krejci passing up to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi passing it to open space in front of the crease for Zacha. taps in and dives forward to pass it to McAvoy. That's how the first goal starts. However, shortly after, Pittsburgh ends up rallying back by just completely bullying the hell out of Charlie Coyle. Oh, he just gets it's beaten and pushed against the boards until he gives up the puck, and Crosby runs the other way with it, with Brian Rust right in front of him, and Rust just Rust goes up. The defense breaks down, and that ends up being the 1-1 tying goal. And also the first time in 7 games that Sidney Crosby has recorded an assist, breaking his career-long streak. Which honestly, the fact that dude had not gone 7 games without an assist at any point in his career prior is just insane. Just insane. Nearing the end of the first period, we get one of the funniest freaking plays I have ever seen, and absolutely belongs in Dang It's. It's Ricard Raquel forechecks it up to Jake Gensel, who is absolutely dangerous. Like when this core of Crosby, Malkin, and Letang all are gone, and if Pittsburgh keeps Jake Gensel and Brian Rust, and likely also Brian Dumoulin, and this is not going to be a rebuild for Pittsburgh so much as it's going to be a reload, especially with Gensel. But this just ends up being one of the dumbest misses I've ever seen. And Gensel with the breakaway, he shoots it. He shoots. Swayman stops it, and then he picks up. And Gensel picks up the puck again, and he can. And he just has he has a very, very open shot right there, and he just puts it he just puts it wide of the post. I guarantee you he was screaming in his head, "Dang it!" Anyway, we go to the second period where the Bruins start on the power play because of a tripping from Evgeny Malkin on Brad Marchand, and with like 4 seconds left in the period. Bruins start the period on the power play, and we're all like, great. I mean, we've already scored on the power play once, but like that's got to be a fluke. And then Dmitry Orlov with the puck fires it high, and then David Pastrnak. Oh man, David Pastrnak just has his stick up just enough to bat it down while it not being over the shoulder. So that's and it bounces down through Jari's legs and into the net for the 2-1 goal. That would also end up being the only goal of the second period. And a little bit later, I mean, here's what's honestly hilarious: the fact that the Bruins have the best goalie in the entire league in in Linus Ullmark, and our second best goalie, Jeremy Swayman, is literally a top 10 goalie in the entire league. Like, that is insane. Like, the fact that Jeremy Swayman could, we have a Vezina goalie, right here, right now. And the fact that we could potentially have a second Vezina goalie as our backup is insane. And not like he won the Vezina like 7 years ago and now he's a backup. No, like a genuine Vezina candidate right now as our backup is insane. Anyway, Jake Gensel and Brian Rust, the two biggest offensive pieces on the Penguins right now. They get a breakaway together. Gensel just puts it right on Swayman, and Rust should have held on to it a little bit more. Rust should have held on to this one a little bit more and tried to wait out Swayman. But he doesn't. He backhands it on Swayman, and he just is okay. I'll take it. Anyway, third period starts, and the Bruins give it up, and the Bruins give up the lead in typical Bruins fashion. They play way too far up. They get fantastic shots on Jari. I can't deny that this was not just. I can't deny that this wasn't that this was is a fantastic. That this wasn't. And I can't deny that this was a good shift from the Bruins, but it just ended up breaking down because Brian Rust on the outside gets the puck, and and Charlie McAvoy does that thing where you fall down, where you intentionally fall down, and if you make a defensive stop like that by cutting off the pass, so you look like the second coming of like Chris Chelios or something like that. But if you don't, you look like the biggest freaking tool on the planet. And I mean, it kind of works. It forces Russ to take the shot, but at the same time, Russ' shot goes to Swayman, and McAvoy is sliding backwards, and he slides back into Swayman, and it ends up pushing the puck past the plane, and that ends up as the second goal of the game for Pittsburgh. A little bit after the Rust goal, we got Krejci. We got Krejci on, or rather, I think it was Grzelcyk. Taking the puck, forechecking it across the neutral zone to Zacha for a clean entry. Zacha it's pushed up against the wall, but who's there behind him as a trailer? David Pastrnak, who just freaking snipes it right past Tristan Jarry. I lost my hat. He just snipes it right past Tristan Jarry. And this one is all Jarry. This one, Jarry easily could have saved this one. There's no reason why he couldn't have, except the fact that it is David Pastrnak. It's David freaking Pastrnak, my guy. And that is the 3-2 goal. The best part about this goal is that it goes off the back, the top crossbar in the back of the net. So it pops out of the net, and nobody notices until the next whistle, where they have to look back on it. It's like, oh, yep, that is a goal. That is a good goal. So after a little bit of confusion, the Bruins are up 3-2. Oh, how do we mess this up? Well, Carlo, on the wraparound behind Swayman, Carlo ends up feeding it to open space. It just so happens that open space is that the closest player to that open space is Brian Rust. He passes it across the ice to Brian Dumoulin. Dumoulin feeds Jake Gensel up the middle, and Swayman is sufficiently screened for the goal. Now, a lot of people for the Bruins, a lot of Bruins fans are saying that this is textbook goalie interference. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't see it. Like, people keep saying, "Oh, it's goalie interference. Oh, it's the Sid rule. Oh, Crosby gets special treatment." It doesn't happen. Where is there goalie interference? Tell me where. Look at that replay. Tell me where Crosby is giving Swayman in any sort of like unavoidable contact. What happens is Carlo just pushes Crosby to the center and takes his place. So now Carlo is screening, is giving Swayman a screen, so Swayman can't see the puck, and that ends up being the 3-3 tying goal. The only way that I could possibly see that as goalie interference is if you're saying that the very, very slight, it is a very slight act of Crosby as he's getting pushed to the center, or his stick comes up and pushes Swayman across the face. That's it. That is the only piece of goalie interference. Doesn't matter. Later on in the period, while the Bruins are killing one of their own penalties for Krejci boarding Josh Archibald, we end up getting remember that shot from Mark Giordano in that insane 4-3 game against the Leafs is where Allmark just dives out and saves the puck with his forearm, and it doesn't go in. Remember that game? Remember that shot? Tristan Jarry makes a very similar save on Pavel Zacha shooting the puck at the end of the penalty kill. Well, he ends up jumping out like a freaking Superman, and his arm saves the puck from getting through the net. And speaking of Zacha ends up with nearing the end of the game with like 2 minutes left. If the Penguins are circling the puck around the back of their net, and Zacha ends up with the puck along the end boards. He pushed it through to open space where Krejci is. Krejci passes to Pasta, who's already gearing up for the one-timer. And that is the hat trick goal for David Pastrnak. Only the second hat trick that the Bruins have had all season. How insane is that? The fact that the Bruins are playing this well, and they have only recorded one hat trick. And this is only the second hat trick that they've had. It is insane. It is absolutely insane. And obviously nobody in Pittsburgh is celebrating. But freaking Pasta, beautiful three-goal game from him. Beautiful game for the entire checkmate line. And the Bruins hold on to win. Bruins hold on to win their 59th game of the season. There are 6 games left in the season. Well, 5 2/3 because I'm recording this during the first intermission of the Blues game. I did a lot of the recording before the first intermission, before the game, and now I'm finishing up during the first intermission. And by the way, Bruins are playing great in this game. But there are only 6 games left in the season, and the Bruins only need 4 more wins to break the record for most wins in a season and tie the record for most points. And what's crazy is that they could actually do it. Let's take a look at the remaining schedule. We have the Bruins and Blues. Bruins are up 1-0 at the end of 1. And the Bruins seem like they're going to be winning this game. I'm just going to say it out loud. The Bruins seem like they're going to be winning this game. We got Bruins Leafs on Thursday. Expect a late one for that. I'm going to be going to it. Bruins Devils on Saturday. The very next game is Bruins Flyers. Then it's Bruins then it's Capitals. Then Canadiens. Of these, I can see the Bruins taking home the. Honestly, I could see the Bruins cleaning up the rest of the season. I could genuinely see the Bruins cleaning up the rest of the season. The Leafs, I really don't think that their goaltending is gonna hold on very well. I know that Samsonov is kind of a beast on the road, but even still, I think the Bruins have a lot more depth than the Leafs, especially because the Leafs traded a good chunk of their depth for players that are now injured. Bruins Devils. The Bruins are just on a completely different level from the Devils. The Flyers are a complete shit show. There's no reason why the Bruins should lose to the Flyers. The Bruins and the Capitals sold off pretty much everything, and they are hoping to suck enough to get a better draft position. And for the Habs, well, the Habs suck. The Habs suck. Like, it's insane how how even after all this, the Habs still suck. But you know who doesn't suck is the Boston Bruins. You know who doesn't suck is the Boston freaking Bruins. And that is going to end it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys in a little bit after this Blues game. Take care. Let's get a party going. Let's get a party going. Now it's time to party. Party hard, party hard. Let's get a party going. Let's get a party going. Well, it's time to party. We will always party hard, party. I don't care what anyone says. Pittsburgh's goal song is freaking great. Andrew WK is amazing.